Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country on Memorial Day. And I've already done a moment of silence in an earlier video, so I'll let that stand for itself. But this Memorial Day, some people confuse it with just honoring all veterans and such, which I agree with that principle. But Memorial Day memory, we remember those who have fallen in prior wars or even injured and so forth. So that's what today's about. But Penny Hedlund made a gift to the channel for me to do the Dixie Chicks song, Travelin' Soldier. Now, I don't know if I know this one. I was actually surprised I hadn't done it. Maybe I was confusing it with Billy Joel's Traveling Prayer or something like that, but the title of the song sounded familiar. But I looked it up and I hadn't done it. And I love the Dixie Chicks, or the Chicks as they go by now, as we know. But, I mean, when they recorded all this stuff, I knew them as the Dixie Chicks. They don't like their name anymore, but I'm not offended by it. I'm from Jersey. It doesn't bother me. You know, one other thing about names is that, for example, like the days of the week, names just become like names. They don't even have the significance. Like you could even read Dixie Chicks or drink out of a Dixie cup. You're not thinking about war, civil war, anything. You're just, give me the cup. I want to drink something. That's all. Like the days of the week that we have, they're named after, I think, Norse gods. When I hear the name Wednesday or Saturday, I'm not thinking of other gods. I'm like, that's the day I have to be at the thing. Whatever. Anyhow, the Dixie Chicks, that's how they recorded this. So that's, to me, how I refer to them. Penny Hedlund made a gift to the channel for me to do it. So Penny, thank you for this, my dear. This is beautiful. I know it.
2 days past 18, he was waiting for the bus in his army green. Sat down in a booth in a cafe there, gave his order to a girl with a bow in her hair. He's a little shy, so she gave him a smile, and he said, would you mind sitting down for a while and talking to me? I'm feeling a little low. She said, I'm off in an hour and I know where we can go.
The Chicks were so good.
So they went down and they sat on the pier. He said, I bet you got a boyfriend, but I don't care. I got no one to send a letter to.
Oh.
Would you mind if I sent one back here to you? I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy too young for him. They told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter said a soldier's coming home.
Wow.
So the letters came from an army camp in California, then Vietnam, and he told her of his heart. It might be love and all of the things he was so scared of. He said, when it's getting kind of rough over here, I think of that day sitting down at the pier, and I close my eyes and see your pretty smile. Don't worry, but I won't be able to write for a while. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy too young for him. They told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter said the soldier's coming home.
Now, did we learn how old she is? I mean, she's a waitress, I think, but we didn't really learn how old she was. But the too young part, I'm trying to figure that out in context, and I might be able to. It may not be overly significant, but it might play into the rest of the narrative. But what a, oh, geez. Some people are just brilliant at crafting narratives and stories. Whether this is true or not, it doesn't matter. It's just a riveting account.
game. The Lord's Prayer said and the anthem sang. A man said, folks, would you bow your heads for a list of local Vietnam dead? Crying all alone under the stands was a piccolo player in the marching band, and one named Red, and nobody really cared. But
I did this one by someone else. Somebody else did this song too. I gotta look this up because that came right back to me. It was Cody Johnson. That's who it is. When I looked up to see if I'd done this song, I typed in Dixie Chicks instead of Travelin' Soldier. I did this by Cody Johnson. Man, every artist does a song differently. Sometimes not that different, but obviously Cody Johnson versus the Dixie Chicks, very different. But the story is so compelling. All right, let's get back to it.
a pretty little girl with a bow in her head. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter says the soldier's coming. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young for him, they told her, waiting for the love of the traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter says the soldier's coming home.
It's like bagpipes. You know, these musical compositions, the lyrics don't always tell the story. In this case, obviously it did, but the instrumentation does as well. Like when you come in with bagpipes and the military drum, sometimes you just hear that like that. You're like, you know that is referencing a military theme and a marching theme. And this had both, and you're like, yeah, he's coming home, and he's coming home dead. And she was too young, because the reference to the football game clued you in that his name was Red at the football game in high school. So that was the reference to being too young. She was too young for him because he was 18 going off to be a soldier. She was too young. Maybe she was only 15 or 16 or something, and an 18-year-old dating a 16-year-old is fine. 18 and 15, that's a little bit much at that age. My opinion on this, okay? Like, when you're 28 and 25, that's fine. Perfectly normal. But in any case, they told her she was too young and da-da-da-da, but her love was never going to die. And I guess her love isn't going to die, but she won't have a relationship with him. She'll have memories, and that's it. But I mean, that touching story... so many different thoughts depending on the artist come into my mind when I'm listening to it. And even a song like this, it took me until she went under they were reading the names at the football game, and this young girl went under the stands. The young piccolo player, I think they said, went under the stands. I'm like, oh, that jogged my memory. I'm like, I've totally heard that before. But the instrumentation, the vocalization, the whole performance and production was so different from Cody's. And it's just a story that no matter how many times you hear a story like this or a song or whoever presents it, It's just about the tragedy of war. And I always wonder on a macro scale, like why we do this to one another. But it is what it is. Once you get the ball rolling in terms of war or nations forming and stuff, there's going to be friction among nations, and eventually someone's going to go to war with somebody. And it's just what we do. We the people. I mean, animals do it, and are we any different than them? No. The way in which we do it is different. But for some reason, it just seems like kill or be killed seems to be the rule. We have rules of civilization that allow us more time to do that. But in any case, thank you to all of the veterans, those who are serving and went before us. But this Memorial Day, as we know, is in honor of those who have passed, and that's what this song is all about. So, Penny, thank you again for that, my dear. All right, folks, happy Memorial Day. Remember those with the true purpose of Memorial Day. And I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.